We're live. Hello, everyone. Oh my goodness. Look at that. We are using.
Look at that crowd of people out
I
there.
know.
They're just
Wow.
roaring and cheering.
Welcome to.
Thank you for the thunderous applause.
Right. Welcome to Radical Connections TV. Let me share this. And let me see. Oh, not here. Okay. I know yesterday I did that. Share. There you go. How about that?
Found some cool new features and
We
options
found
now.
some cool new features, but I'm going to share it on Facebook too, so our people get experience of being here with us live on YouTube. And yeah, we are going to talk about commitment. Is that right? That is right. Okay, let's go. Okay, so.
All right. Oh yeah. First things first. Gotta get the
First
kisses
things
out of the way.
first, yes. Mwah.
I love my wife, by the way. If you're watching and you have issue with that, then I guess maybe this RCTV is not for you, because we're all about deep connections and PDA, which is public displays of natural affection. Hugs and kisses are okay.
That's right.
Anyhow, so topic today is one that I believe we've covered before, but it bears repeating. It's one that I think a high percentage of people deal with, and that's fear of commitment.
Yeah.
And as with any fears that keep us back, it's always attached to a painful experience that causes an agreement that we make with never again to protect ourselves. And next thing you know, you have a fear that's actually, the agreement causing the fear that's causing you to not grow in that area. Mm-hmm. And to grow and stretch yourself always requires risk, or what feels like a risk, or it's not comfortable. And there's two camps of people that, or two scenarios to this that I could cover.
Yeah.
One is that constantly, some people feel like you should constantly keep yourself stretched and growing. And if you're not green and growing, you're ripe and rotting. Mm-hmm. Or then there's also the other camp. Well, we need the consistent people who are content with where they are and with the familiar and the comfortable, and those are the farmers. They just plug along. Yeah, it makes sense on paper. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like the architect who everything makes sense on paper, but then when you get out there on the construction site, not everything works quite as well as you thought it would.
Yeah.
Having been in construction, I saw that many times happen. I don't know, maybe we have bad architects.
I come from the architecture side of it.
But anyhow, I'm one that I like comfort, familiarity, and stability, and structure, and just don't mess with anything. Just leave it as is. But then I get bored.
Yeah.
All of a sudden I start getting stagnant and life is boring, and I'm starting to get depressed. I don't feel that vibrancy and that vim and vigor in myself. And so I recognize that even for those of us who like comfort and familiarity and feel that's a good thing, I depending on how you spin that, I guess you can justify anything if you spin it just right, but eventually the spinning plate will come to a stop.
Yep.
That's all I got to say about that. And we have to grow and mature, level up, become better than our last best. Bringing that into the world of singles, fear of commitment. That's what kept me single until I was 40 years old.
Yeah.
And I have a post that I made on Facebook that I'll read off, and I'd like to hear some of your thoughts.
Yeah.
So if you consider yourself to be an all-in type of person or an all or nothing type of person, which is not necessarily bad. However, if you consider that to be you, but then you just struggle with making a decision, and then consider that indecisiveness and fear of commitment may be at the root of you not being able to make a decision. And that considering yourself an all-in type of person or all or nothing type of person is actually a scapegoat that you're using to escape pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Because yes, you're making a decision, but it's making a decision to not make a decision,
Yeah.
which I guess is still a decision. Well, once I discovered that getting into a relationship and getting married is a decision,
Yeah.
I stopped blaming God. I stopped making excuses, and I went out there and I started connecting with women and getting to know them, just making friends. No expectations. We've talked about that a lot in previous videos.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? With a little bit of mentoring and coaching, I was a married man within 88 days flat.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, within 6 months after making that decision of no more excuses
Yeah.
and to push through my fears. And so I now choose to be a bold and courageous decision maker, even if it's the wrong decision. It's sometimes better to make a decision rather than just dilly dally and nothing happens
Yeah.
and stagnate. It's better to make a decision and it be not quite the right decision, and you're still moving forward. At least you're giving God something to steer and guide because of His motion. If you're
Mm-hmm.
sitting there in indecisiveness, and God, please bring my spouse, or I want a wife, or I want a husband, but you're not out there making friends.
Mm-hmm.
You're not out there at least like making friends of the same and the opposite gender, honorably, purely. I'm not talking about hooking up and having sex with everyone. No, we don't. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying making friends, like
Mm-hmm.
no expectations, platonic friends. Get out there and start making friends. You start exercising those skills. Now you give God something to bless, guide, and steer, and He can work with that. You'll be married shortly if you implement that long enough. Anyhow, I
lost my thought already. I had
I can
something
keep
to say.
I can keep going if
But I was thinking of fear of commitment. Why do we have it? Right? There are a few things too, is that you probably don't trust yourself because maybe you made a decision in the past and it didn't turn out to be a good decision.
got burnt.
You got burned and you decide, you know what? I'm not going to make decisions like that. I'm going to take time. I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to spend time to really know if it's right.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Don't make any bad decisions.
But it's interesting. So fear and excitement has exact same feeling in your body, right? That the stomach feeling that we call gut feeling. So fear, we sometimes take it as, oh my gosh, it's a sign from God that I should not do this.
Oh, that's good.
A lot of times our gut feeling is telling us that it's right, we should do it. But then we turn on the God card. And a lot of times, Jesse already mentioned that, we blame God for a lot of things.
Thank you for that amen in the back seat.
I know, right? Yes. We blame God for a lot of things. Why? Because we don't want to take responsibility for our own lives, for our own decisions. There's nothing wrong with making decision. It might not be a right decision, but if you take or make a decision and it didn't turn out right, own it, take responsibility, learn from it, and move on to the next thing. That's the only way.
Even a mistake is experience they can chalk up to, I grew from that experience.
Right. And you know what? If you're blaming everyone because of that, and I took a wrong turn, now I'm in this mess, and oh my gosh, if I listen to my gut feeling and da 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 dee,
You know what?
It's like we do that too much.
What you just said about that, where did this idea come from that it's bad to make a mistake, that it's wrong to make a mistake?
Yeah.
Mistakes are just evidence that you are stretching yourself beyond your capacity of what you have known up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee you, if you're growing, you're stretching yourself and you're leveling up, mistakes are guaranteed, but embrace them as a part of the process of learning. Yeah. Mistakes are actually feedback. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, next time I'll know not to do that. That didn't work. And it's feedback. And the more feedback you get, the better decisions you're going to make. And it's like you grow and you make mistakes in the process, and you develop that new area of where you're at.
Yeah.
And okay, now don't stay there too long because you're going to stagnate. It's time to grow again. And so we go through these cycles of leveling up.
Yeah. I just thought of something. So I've been seeing so many couples dating, and then it seems like they're a right fit, then they break up, and then one of the partners is just crushed and said, okay, I'm done. This was not worth it. I'm so hurt. I am heartbroken now. And now I need to heal for a lifetime to get over this. And the next, their partner goes and very quickly finds the partner of their lives and gets married and have a good life. And the difference between those two is, one is the victim person who says, oh my gosh, poor me. I thought this was this, but now I need to heal because I'm all broken and I'm defeated and I was wrong and da da da. The other person knew that, oh my gosh, you know what? This is not the right fit for me. We'd rather stop this now and I need to go look for the right person. And then they just go and do it. Guess what? What they did is that they found the right person and they did not attach themselves to that. They took a feedback, like you said, and they said, oh, okay, got it. Thank you. This is what I'm looking for, and I'm going to go find it. And they go find it. And the person who is still recovering, years later, they're still recovering while the other person's having a life with their partner.
Why? Because healing occurs in the process of continuing to go, continuing to continuing on and forward, not action. Stopping. If you're stopping, if you have ceased taking action to allow yourself a time to heal, just remember that healing happens as quickly as a decision.
Yes.
As quickly as you're willing to release mindsets is the degree to which you can receive healing. Healing doesn't have to be a drawn-out process. I understand it is for a lot of people, but that doesn't have to be the case. You can heal while you're continuing to take steps forward. You don't have to stop there in a puddle of tears. I understand. I've been there, so I'm not judging you and condemning you, but I recognize that my healing didn't speed up by, withdrawing and being a reclusive bachelor, and that's licking my wounds and swimming in a pool of pity
and still blaming that person for what
blaming
happened.
The other person, God, or whatever the situation.
But guys, to make conclusion for this, we'll talk about that more and more in the next videos because that's what we do. But just so you know, it's just a choice, right? The fear of commitment is a choice, or you can choose to have freedom and commitment, and understanding that you can create whatever you want. You want a beautiful marriage, you can create that. If your mindset keeps telling you that you need to die to yourself to be married and every single time and to everything you know and desire, then that's going to be your story.
And you're never going to get finished dying to yourself.
Right.
Because dying, if you're a Christian, using Christianese speak, dying to self is a never-ending process because biblical that's supposed to happen once. And then it's done. From there on, it's a growth process.
Yes.
A leveling up process, a maturing process. That's not dying to yourself. The dying to yourself happened once in Christ, and then you move on. It's the new man moving on, leveling up and growing.
And receiving the gift that marriage can give.
Yes.
We shared our story. You can go watch it on the other video. It's a gift and you can create it as you want. You can recreate it. You can fix it. If you're driving somewhere and you decide to go from here to there, you can change it, right? You don't have to continue driving on the miserable road if there is a better way. And there are a lot of beautiful things about marriage.
That's right.
So 15 minutes. Wow.
It's good. Thank you for
Yeah.
that thunderous applause, everyone.
Yes. Good to see everybody. Be blessed.
Catch you next time.
We'll see you next time. That's right. Bye.